now that my windows are tagged, the next thing I need to do is to create my window schedule. So I'm going to do this by coming up to my View tab and coming to Schedules and say New Schedule. And then I'm going to scroll down and pick the Windows category. And we're going to set our window schedule up fairly similar to how we set up our door schedule. So I'm going to pick Windows, click OK. And then first thing I'm going to do is add a what we're going to call the type mark. So on the doors, we just did the mark, which is just a number for each individual door. But the type mark is actually tied to the window type that we used. So if I have a sliding 4x4 window, then that's going to be assigned a type mark. And so everywhere I have that window placed is going to have the same number. So I'm just going to move that over. And then we're going to create a new parameter that's going to be for the window type. And that's going to be a type parameter as well. We'll make sure that gets switched to text. And then I'm going to get my sizes. I'm going to start with my width and then my height. And then I'm going to create one for my window material. And one for my window finish. It's also going to be a type and then text parameter. Click OK. And then with every schedule, I'm going to put the comments at the end. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to come over here to the appearance and just get this to set to look like the rest of my other schedules. Let me just change my text types here. And then stripe my rows with this gray color. And then next, I'm just going to go through. I want to make sure that everything's in capital letters. I'm going to change type mark to just say tag. Type. I named these with the word window in front of it just so that when I'm looking at a big long list, I know that these were specifically the ones for my windows. But in the schedule, since they're in the window schedule, we can just change the headers to just say material and finish because we know that they're for the windows. Okay. So the next thing is I have some kind of random numbers over here. So I want to clean this up a little bit. So I'm going to come back to my first floor new plan. And I've got a few windows here. So this one that's 32, I'm going to say that this is window 1. And this is a type parameter, so I'm okay with it changing all of them. So you'll see that everywhere I have that window has also become a 1. We'll change this one to 2. And then this one to 3. And then this one to 4. So back here in my window schedule, there are still a few windows that have higher numbers. And what these windows are, these are windows in my existing plan that are either getting demolished or windows that were existing that are just going to stay. And I don't need to show those in my schedule. And the way the schedules are set up is that they can also read phases just like our floor plan. So you'll see over here, the phase is set to new construction and my phase filter is set to show all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this and change this to say just show new. And then this lists all of the new windows that I'm putting in my project. So the next thing that I'm going to do is come back to sorting and grouping, and I want to sort these by the type mark. And go ahead and hit OK. So now that goes 1, 2, 3, 4. But you'll notice I have 2 1s and 2 3s, and they're telling me the exact same thing. So in this case, what I want to do is I want to come here to my sorting and grouping. I'm going to uncheck this itemize every instance. And what this is going to do is it's going to take what's similar and group them together. And then now, if I come back to my floor plan, I can go ahead and start assigning window types. So window 1 is going to be a type A. Window 2 is going to be type B. And we'll say window 3 is type C. And window 4 is going to be type D. And then I just need to assign materials. So for windows, our primary materials are vinyl, wood, or metal. So I'm just going to list these all as vinyl. And that's just telling me that that's applying it to all of the window types, or all the windows of that particular type, which is what we want to do. And that's why we set everything up as a type parameter. And then same thing for the finish. This is basically just going to say what color it is, and we're just going to say white. I'm just going to do that for all of them. And then with that, our schedule is done. And if I just come to my window schedule sheet and then come over to my project browser and find my window schedule, and then I can just drag this over onto my sheet.